Hi besties! If you're new here, my name's Lottie, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. Today we are starting a new reading vlog, and I'm super excited about this one because this is going to be my Kobo Libra color first impressions reading vlog. So I'm honestly just going to be doing some mood reading from my spring TBR in this video, and I'm going to be doing it all using my Kobo Libra color. In case you guys missed it, I did post an unboxing and first impressions of my Kobo maybe like a month ago. I'll leave the video in a card and link it down below in case you missed it, but Kobo did kindly send me this e-reader just to try out. They're not sponsoring this video or paying me to say anything. They sent me the e-reader to try so I could see what I think. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my honest thoughts on what I like about it, what features maybe I miss from my Kindle, and just kind of comparing the Kobo to the Kindle. So trust, we're going to have honest thoughts. I'm going to start by reading Ready or Not by Cara Stone. This is on my April TBR, and I thought I needed a break from romance because I've read like 3 romances in a row for the past 3 books, but I started just randomly reading a chapter of this and it's so good that I'm just like, actually I need to drop everything and just read this. So I think I'm just gonna start with this because honestly I'm in the mood for it, so why not continue? And I've literally only read 1 book so far this month on my April TBR, and it is April 19th. So we're behind.
We are literally a week behind. We're 2 weeks behind.
So I know it'll just make me feel better to read a spring book. And I mean, I have to read this book in April. I actually have the physical copy as well. And like, this cover is just like the most beautiful spring cover. I'm obsessed. And honestly, I usually try not to buy the ebook version when I already have a physical copy, but I just really wanted to read it and I want to read on my Kobo and I want to do this video. So I was just like, you know what? Let me treat myself. At least it's not drugs, you know? So that's what I'm going to be starting with. I'm going to timestamp it out. So feel free to skip around, jump around, do you have fun. Let's go ahead and jump in. It is a Saturday night and I have no plans, which chef's kiss. It's actually Easter weekend. So tomorrow I have like a brunch with Anders' family, but other than that, I don't have any plans today and tomorrow. So I'm so excited to just like have a good, fun weekend of reading. Hopefully I'm needing to unwind with some reading because for the next like 8 weekends, Anders, my boyfriend, and I are booked and busy. We have like 3 weddings over the next 8 weeks, and then we're traveling some, and like, it's a busy time of year. So this is one of my only like at home, nothing to do kind of weekends for the next like literally 2 months, dare I say. So I'm relishing in it. And random side note, but I'm still gonna try to have at least 1 video up per week for you guys over the next like 2 months. I usually like to have 2 videos a week, but given how busy I'm gonna be over the next like 6 to 8 weeks, it may just be once a week, but once we're through this busy season, we will be back with more uploads. So let's jump in. Okay, it's a bit later, same day, I went and had dinner with my boyfriend, and now we're having hobby time, AKA reading time. I'm gonna start reading Ready or Not. I actually did already read the first, I think 2 chapters. I think I'm like halfway through chapter 3, but I'm loving it so far. The writing is so refreshing. I actually read Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Stone, which is her novel that just came out this spring, back in March, was it? And I absolutely loved it, which is part of the reason I had Ready or Not on my radar and I put it on my spring and April TBR. So I feel like I'm back at home with this like quirky, like train of thought kind of writing style. I feel like that's the best way to describe it. It's like very conversational with our protagonist Eve. The part that I'm at right now, it says like, okay, so the thing that Willa said about me not even wanting kids isn't like wrong. I feel like I'm just like chatting with my bestie, and that is such like a comforting kind of writing style that I really love. But let me back up for a second and tell you what this book is about so that we're all on the same page. The TLDR is a surprising pregnancy leads to even more life-changing revelations in this heartfelt, slow burn, friends to lovers romance. So those are kind of the tropes in this contemporary romance book. We've got our main female character, Eve. She gets unexpectedly pregnant in literally the first chapter. And then she has a best friend, Willa, who's I think struggling with infertility a bit. So there's a little bit of like struggle and tension there so far. And Willa has a husband. We haven't met him. And Willa also has a brother, Shep, who I think is a couple years older than Eve and Willa. Oh, and it's all set in New York, which is so cozy. Eve has an apartment in Brooklyn, but I think the circumstance just kind of puts a strain on Eve and Willa's friendship for the time being. And Shep actually steps up to kind of help support Eve and like be there for her as a friend. And I'm guessing that Shep is going to be like the slow burn friends to lovers. He's always been friendly, but now he's ordering her surprise lunches, listening to all her complaints, and is suddenly kind of hot. Then there's the baby's father, who is technically supportive, but majorly conflicted. Yeah, I'm interested. I don't know who the baby's father is yet, so we'll see about that. But yeah, I think this basically just follows Eve over the course of her pregnancy. And I'm pretty sure the book is broken up into trimesters. I hit that like first trimester thing. Hold on. I mostly just don't want to lose this spot on my kobo, but you actually can like skim the pages pretty easily, I'm pretty sure. It's nice because on the kobo so far, it has retained like the publisher preferences. So it has this same font that the actual book has where it says like first trimester, and it's called How to Master the Art of Stealth Panicking. So that was fun to get to see in the book, and it totally matches the actual book, which is fun to kind of reference as I'm getting to know my kobo. So those are kind of the basics as we jump into this first book for the reading vlog. I changed into my PJs. These are from Z Supply. I'll link them down below. I got them for spring and they are literally the most cozy PJs. I'm obsessed. I got like a Christmas set from Z Supply at a boutique in Athens back in November, and I just like splurged and treated myself because they were so soft. And then like a week or two ago, I was like, oh, I miss my Christmas PJs, and I was like, actually I have free will. Let me just go online to the site and order like a spring version. So I'm absolutely obsessed with these. I think they're so cute, and I have matching pants, so I'm just thriving. And one other thing I wanted to quickly touch on before I get back to reading is my kobo case. So right now on my kobo, I actually just have like a clear kind of case on here. Just wanted to get a clear case without a folio kind of thing and see how I liked it, because I do like having like my clear cases for my Kindles. So I thought it'd be fun to do that. Maybe put some stickers in it. I might also order a popsocket and like put that on here if I decide I want it. I don't really think I need it, but I don't know, it could be nice to have. Okay, I went and got my Kindle Oasis to compare, and I have a bunch of stickers like taped on here, but I don't have a case on here right now, so bear with me. But the thing about the Kindle Oasis is that this is actually a discontinued model. You can still get some of them like refurbished, but this is their kind of like competitor, I feel like, somewhat to the Kobo Libra Color, other than the Color Soft, because this is the only Kindle they've ever come out with that has page turn buttons. So it's kind of a similar product design structure to the Kobo Libra Color, except for, of course, that the Kobo has color. All this to say, I don't know if I'm going to put a pop socket on here or not. I feel like I may want to because it's just flat on the back. It doesn't have a ridge the way that the Oasis does. Do you see how this has like a little bit of a grip? So that's on the side with the buttons. So on the Oasis, you kind of have like something to hold on to a little bit more. Whereas with the Kobo, I may want a pop socket. So we'll see. I may end up just like decorating this and like having fun with it this week, but I did go ahead and get a clear case. And then you may see me using either of these other cases too. So I thought I'd just quickly mention them. This is my Kobo case from Page the Shop. This is my like cute travel case. It's not my favorite case to like actually read, but it's my favorite cute one to put on the Kobo if I'm taking it with me like in my purse. When you open this one up, it has a little strap on the inside. So when you fold it back and you're reading, you have a strap to hold on to, which is nice. But part of the reason this one isn't 100% my favorite is because it's kind of hard to know what to do with the Kobo stylus, because there's not like a place for it in this case anywhere. There's nowhere to store it. So it kind of just gets thrown in my bag, and I don't want to lose it because it's expensive. And that's where the Kobo folio case comes in. This one is the one that they sent with my Kobo, and I actually really love this case. Like, this is my favorite case that I have, other than the fact that it's just like kind of a boring color. It's just like very simple and plain. So if like your aesthetic is very like clean girl simple, this is perfect. My aesthetic though is just more like colorful and fun. I love color. But honestly, this one is really great. This is probably like the nicest and my favorite because it's like leather, and then you open it up and it's magnetic, which my Page to Shop one is not magnetic. So the folio lid like sticks to the back, which is nice. And it has a spot for the Kobo stylus, so you don't lose it. So like, I do really love this one. So that's a little bit on all my cases. What made me want to say all this in the first place was just to mention the stylus. So this is the white Kobo stylus. This charges with the same charger as the Kobo, and you can use this to annotate your books on the Kobo Libra Color, which is really fun. So I can highlight in color and make little notes in matching colors. I honestly don't like annotate a ton. So I'm going to be totally honest, like how much I'm using this, how much I'm not. I really enjoy highlighting different passages, but I'm not often like writing in the margins. So I don't know. We'll see if I end up doing that more or less. I feel like I also just have gotten in the habit of not doing it because I don't really have the option with my Kindle. And then I'm just not always carrying a pen when I'm reading a physical book. And sometimes I debate if I want to annotate a book in case I want to donate it later on or like let a friend borrow it. But with an ebook, it's kind of just your copy and you can always like erase your annotations later, which is nice. All this to say, I'll keep you posted because I think that's one of the coolest features about the Kobo, but it's not one that I'm like super in the habit of. So I'm curious to see if like I'm reaching for the stylus more or if I just kind of don't care. Okay, that's enough yapping about all my Kobo accessories and things. Let's actually do some reading. I'm ready to just chill, unwind, and read some more of Ready or Not by Cara Stone. So let's do it. It's been like literally literally 5 minutes, but I just wanted to say, I just read like a little cute piece of banter and I wanted to highlight it because I just thought it was cute. And I'm realizing I like annotating. I think in my head, I was like, oh, I should reach for the stylus and like highlight that. I think sometimes when I'm reading, I have the energy to do that. And sometimes I'm not as into it. It kind of just depends. And I feel like especially early on in books, I'm more into annotating. I just thought I'd comment that I do think annotations are really fun. And I think they're less scary feeling on an ebook, because with my physical book, I think with my pen, it's like, oh, what if I spell something wrong, or like my letter looks weird, or I run out of space in the margin to like write what I want to write. Like, I think my perfectionist tendencies make me not want to annotate in my physical copies quite as much. But with my Kobo read, it's just so easy to like make a little note and like add a little personality, and then it would be so fun if I'm like rereading the book to like see what I had highlighted. I think that's part of it, is that like annotations can feel so like personal, like a journal or a diary, where like if I annotate like a physical book and then loan it to my friend, you are like seeing a window into my soul. And so I think that's one of the nice things about like digital annotations that I didn't really think about, but it makes sense. That's my first train of thought thing. My other thing is just that I'm like still loving this book. It's so good. Vibes are absolutely immaculate. I love my Kobo, and I'm just happy to be here. Next morning. Today is Sunday. It's actually Easter today when I'm filming this. I hope if you celebrate, you had a really great Easter. I got about a quarter of the way into the book last night. I am 26% of the way in, and I just hit the second trimester section. So first impressions on the book, I am loving it. It reads a little more like literary fiction, women's fiction. So if you like that genre, I think this is a really good romance option for you. There hasn't honestly been much romance at all. It's definitely going to be super slow burn, which I really like. I like kind of the tension. I'm having a marvelous time. Honestly, it's super bingeable. The writing is just like so conversational, but it's not like doing too much. I don't know. It definitely has some modern references and like kind of modern sentence structures, but I don't know. It's not cringing me out. I think that the thing with the modern references is like, if you're already not liking a book and then it's doing that, it can make it a lot worse. But on the other hand, if you're really enjoying the book and it's doing that, you're like, who cares? It's fine. I'm still loving the book. And I feel like that's a common thing with people too. Like Anders and I'll reference on like Love Island sometimes when someone's like trying too hard, and it's like, if you like them and they're like really grafting, it makes you like them more. But if you already don't like them, it makes you like them less. Does that make sense? And I honestly think I feel the same way about like modern lingo or references in books, where it's like, if I'm already liking it, it can sometimes make it like funnier to me and I'm like leaning into it. I'm loving the book. I keep switching between this clear case and the folio case because of the stylus. I really can't decide. Like I literally switched them like 3 times while I was reading last night. But today when I was getting ready for Easter, I actually found this old popsocket in my jewelry box that I forgot that I ordered and never used. So I think I may put this on my clear case and just see what I think about the popsocket. Just thought I'd let you know. I'm thinking I'm going to put it just right on the back, on the side between the buttons, like right here-ish. So that's my plan. Let's do it. It. I kind of wish I did it a little bit closer to the center, but whatever. It's too late for that. Actually, no, I don't. I think this is nice. So the reason I put it here, like right in the center, is because with this device, you can hold it either way. So I didn't want it to be, like leaning to one side, because I definitely do use it both ways. So I've added that. I'll let you know what I think. Oh, it fell right off. Cool. Okay, I put it a little bit more inward now than I did the first time. I'm gonna like push it down onto the case and like let it set for a minute before I start like using it again. But anyway, excited to see what I think of this. I will say something I keep debating is which button I want to be the page forward button and which button I want to be the page backward button. I'm pretty sure the default is that the bottom button is page forward and the top is page backward. I do this with my Kindle Oasis as well. I cannot make up my mind about which one I want to be for what, because now with the popsocket, I kind of feel like I want it to be the top. I don't know. I literally go back and forth all the time. And something I really like about the kobo is that you can just push the button to wake up the kobo and start reading. You don't have to push the on button, which is this button here on the back. So that is the like wake and sleep button. You can also do that, but in order to wake it up, I can also just push the page turn button, which I really like. So that was my kobo update this morning. I have to go to an Easter brunch today. So I'm gonna download the kobo app on my phone. Actually, I think I already have it, but I need to make sure I'm like logged in and stuff because we're carpooling. So I may try to read some in the car. So I have 26% of the way done. I'm gonna open it up. I don't think you can do the continuous scroll on the kobo app, but honestly, that's fine. I really don't care. I'm looking at the different page transition styles. Okay, so I've got my book on my phone ready to go. I'm not going to take my kobo with me just because I'm taking like a small purse and it's not going to fit in there. I don't know. It's just easier sometimes to bring my phone. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Have that ready to go. I'll give you any thoughts on that experience when I get back if I end up reading while I'm out. I feel like the main thing I'm missing right now on my kobo is that you can't configure it to see the clock while you're reading. Oh, and since I opened the book on the kobo app, I did get this pop-up, same as Kindle, that says sync to last page because I turned the page literally one page, but it's nice that it's seeming to easily sync across devices exactly how I'm used to. So amazing. So those are my updates. Okay, it's actually the next day now. So it's Monday night. Yesterday on Sunday for Easter, I was just like not in the best headspace and didn't want to like bring you guys into that, but I'm feeling a lot better. Today is Monday. I had a full day of working from home today and now it is just about 9 p.m. I've been reading Ready or Not on and off ever since I got off work, like while I made dinner and stuff. And I am now 45% of the way through the book. I'm literally in the middle of a chapter. I thought it was time that I update you. And I'm definitely really enjoying this book. I don't know if I'm enjoying it quite as much as Promise Me Sunshine. I feel like with Ready or Not, the big trope is the pregnancy trope. And while it is like slow burn friends to lovers, and I love those tropes, I feel like some tropes are like more broad than others, where like friends to lovers can be a lot of different kinds of stories, whereas like the pregnancy trope is a very like specific kind of trope. You know what I mean? Like there is something very specific that's happening here. And this story kind of being centered around her pregnancy, I think has been interesting for me and has made me kind of like reflect more on how I feel about the pregnancy trope, because prior to reading this, I have read Reckless by Elsie Silver and Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, and I really surprisingly loved both of those books like more than I expected. So I was kind of thinking like, oh, maybe I like love the pregnancy trope. I think I'm enjoying the writing more than I am the actual story or like the main, at least main female character. I like Eve, don't get me wrong. I'm just like, I don't know. I have some questions for her. I feel bad saying this, but in the other two pregnancy trope books, the love interest was the father, and in this one I don't believe our love interest is the father. It seems like it's going to be more like healthy co-parenting with a friend kind of vibe and not turn into romance. And even if it did, like we've got like a love triangle kind of situation, I feel like, and I'm not like loving that either. So I will say I feel like the writing is my favorite thing about the book so far, and I'm interested to see how I feel about like the rest of the pregnancy trope playing out. I feel like, so bad saying this, but I just feel like I like get more invested when the romance is with the father, because there's just like this like extra like, I don't know, layer of something, which I like hate that I feel that way. And like, maybe that's not necessarily true, but I'm trying to find like the common denominators and like what I liked in those pregnancy books and what I'm like not loving in this one. And I feel like it's like, we don't have the excitement of like the mom and the dad like possibly ending up together really. And so I'm just kind of like, okay, like I guess we can all be mature. It's just like not as entertaining to read about, I guess. What's it like to read a book without like overanalyzing your preferences and your thoughts and your feelings about it? Because I wouldn't know. I think the story is doing something really meaningful so far in showing this like platonic, healthy co-parenting dynamic. And I think that's important. It's just like not as entertaining, you know, like I'm kind of here for like the toxic drama. I fear I'm aware that like I'm the problem, you know, but it's just like, I think I'm like missing a little bit of like the drama of it all. It's like all just a little too working out, you know? So that's kind of how I'm feeling about Ready or Not so far. Let's talk more about how I'm feeling about using the kobo. I will say I don't feel like I've been annotating as much the more I've gotten into the book. It's definitely something I feel like I want to do the most like right when I start a book, but by the time I get to like the middle, unless it's like the most profound 5-star read, I'm kind of like getting lazy with my annotations. But I will say something cool I noticed with the Kobo app that I have been reading on my phone is that you actually can get the Kobo app on your iPad and use your Apple Pencil to annotate your Kobo ebooks on your iPad. So you could have like your annotations from your iPad and your Apple Pencil carry over to your Kobo Libra Color, which is really cool. I feel like my main complaint with the Kobo right now is just still not being able to see the time. I just, you know, you don't realize like which features you're so reliant on or you really love until they're taken away. And I'm realizing that seeing the clock was one for me that like was very important. The popsocket has definitely been fun and helpful, and I'm still enjoying playing around with using this case. And something I'm really loving about the Kobo too is that there's a progress bar at the bottom. So if you can see, I'm like 45% of the way through this book, so you can see the progress bar go as I'm reading. So I'm really enjoying that too. And it's just like all your stats and stuff are in different places. So at the bottom, it says ready or not, 45% read. And then at the top, I can see that I'm on chapter 13 and I have 10 minutes to go in the chapter. So those are the stats I like to see. I like to see how much longer I have, how many minutes I have left in a chapter. It's really cool too, because on the kobo, you can see how much of the book you've actually read. So it says 32% read. So I've actually read 32% of the book, even though I'm at 45. So I've listened to 13%. And it just accounted that like I skipped some chapters in the table of contents. So I think that's really cool to get the breakdown of how much of the book I read with my eyes versus listened to. And then it also under this chapter says 11 minutes to go. Next chapter is 15 minutes. And then it's anticipating that for the rest of the book, it'll take me 4.2 hours. So with that being said, it's 9 o'clock now. I'd love to possibly finish this book tonight, but I fear that would take us to 1 a.m. So that's probably not happening. But I'm gonna stop yapping, get back to reading. I'm loving the kobo. I'm liking the book. And I'm ready to just chill and read for the rest of the night. So let's do it. Okay, I don't think this is a spoiler really, because I wouldn't like be mad if I knew this, but I'm like halfway through and Eve's at a doctor's appointment and they're like, wait, she doesn't want to know the sex of the baby. But like, hopefully that's not really a spoiler to you because it's non-information. But I just have to say, as a reader, I'm disappointed. I want to know the sex of the baby now. Give me answers. I want to start thinking of baby names for Eve. Like, this is very literary fiction, kind of coded. It's very slow burn. So I need like some kind of information or drama to hold on to. And I guess we're just holding out to figure out the sex of the baby, but I'm just a little disappointed in that choice. I, of course, respect everyone's decisions and I can understand. No, actually, I can't understand, but I can respect that decision. Me personally, I would have to know. Like, as soon as I could know, I would be knowing. But that's me. And like everyone, I can respect that everyone has, you know, different opinions, and that's okay. Andrew says hi.
Hi, guys.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm watching the extended cut Two Towers Lord of the Rings movie. It's 4 hours long.
Well, and I have 4 hours left in my book, so this is just worked out perfectly.
Yeah. Can't wait to stay up till 1 a.m. watching Lord of the Rings when I have work tomorrow.
Right, on a Monday night.
Yep.
We're thriving.
Seems smart.
This is adulthood.
That it is.
Free will. Best use of free will, I say. Okay, so it's been a few days actually since I last talked to you. I have had the worst week. I'm just gonna be so honest with you guys. Today is Thursday and it has just been one thing after another this week. I don't wanna get into all of it because some of it is just a little bit more personal and private. But to give you a sense of a few things, my car had to be towed this week. I'm looking at multiple thousands of dollars that it needs in repairs. I went to an emergency room this week. I had therapy yesterday, and usually I have therapy every 2 to 3 weeks, but I've got another session scheduled for next week. Sometimes weeks like this can just make you remember the things that you're grateful for. And of course, like, I'm grateful to have a car and I get to have car problems, but like, I'm trying to reframe. If you can't tell, I'm trying to change my perspective. Anyway, so there wasn't any kind of accident or anything with my car. So it could have been, a lot of things could have been worse, but also things could have been better. And this week just wasn't the best. So anyway, I don't want to sit here and like bring down the vibes and ramble, but I wanted to give you a window into like my headspace and why it's been a minute since I've spoken to you. I kept meaning to pick up the camera, but I just was in like a rancid mood the past few days. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to bring this vibe. I just try to be mindful of the energy I'm sharing. I want to be honest and authentic with you guys, but I also don't want to like force myself to sit down and film if I'm not in the mood. So with all that being said, today is Thursday. I was really hoping to read like 2 or 3 books this week and just like knock this video out. This weekend, I'm going to North Carolina for my friend's wedding, which is like a 7-8 hour drive. So that's going to take up a good chunk of my weekend. I am 89% of the way through Ready or Not. I'm on chapter 28. I think I've got like 4 chapters left. So I'm definitely going to finish this today and probably start another book. Honestly, guys, my first impressions with my kobo, this being the second book that I've pretty much read on it, is that I'm still loving it. I keep accidentally calling it my Kindle just in my head, because in my head, like, Kindle means e-reader. The only things that I've been missing, I know I've said this before, but the time at the top of the screen, like, I really would like to figure out a way to do that. And yeah, I just didn't expect that to be one I missed so much, but I definitely do miss that. I don't think it's a reason not to get the kobo, and I do feel like it's something that could probably be easily fixed with like a software update. So maybe just not enough people have like asked for that from kobo. But that's one thing. The other thing is the X-ray feature in Kindle, where you can like highlight someone's name and then see other times where they were mentioned. I haven't really needed that in this book because There's only like really 5-ish main characters, but there was one like coworker character of Eve, our main character, that I was like, wait, is this that coworker kind of a thing, where I was trying to make sure I was thinking about the right person. And then I realized that we don't have the X-ray feature. So that's also one thing I'm kind of missing. And then the only other thing I could really think of is just like my notes and highlights being able to show on my Goodreads. And so that doesn't necessarily integrate. Honestly, I get annoyed the way that my Kindle integrates with Goodreads other times, because it'll count books like twice in my Goodreads goal, and then I have to go manually like fix it. So that like kind of integration annoys me sometimes, but it's like a double-edged sword because I also can't really share my highlights. Granted, you can't do that with a physical book either. So it's just like, you know, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it can be kind of fun to like see someone's like favorite quotes from a book. So those are some high-level Kobo updates. In terms of the book itself, I would say I like this romance book. It's not my favorite ever. I definitely liked Promise Me Sunshine more, which is like slightly disappointing. I think this story is just like so centered around pregnancy and like how transformational that is for our main female character, which like I knew that going in, but I think right now where I'm at in my life, I am 26. I don't see myself really wanting kids anytime in the next like 4 years at least till I'd be like 30. And even then I'm like very 50-50 on it. Like I go back and forth every day. I think there's so much to consider about like becoming a parent, because I think for a long time I thought about it as like, oh, you get to have a baby, have a child. And it's like, no, you have to raise a person to be a good person. You have to pay for all of their stuff. Like I would now be a parent, a mother. And I think it kind of scares me, the thought of like how that would fundamentally change me. And I think it's just one of those things where I know women in their 20s and 30s think about this constantly. I talk about this with my friends constantly. I just think for me right now, the idea of pregnancy is kind of overwhelming and maybe makes me a little bit like anxious. And so for me reading this book, I would say it hasn't like relieved me of any of that. It hasn't made it worse either. And it's just like for whatever reason right now, I think, you know, there's a lot of laws going on in our country that are making it scarier to be pregnant for a lot of reasons. I think sometimes for me, it's hard to kind of like enjoy thinking about it because it is something that feels kind of scary right now. And I wish I felt like really sure either way. And I didn't mean to get into a whole like subplot in this vlog on like, do I ever want kids? Because that's like a whole separate topic. And I think for me, I'm just kind of taking things one step at a time, 1 year at a time. Anyways, all that to say, I'm just like not that interested in pregnancy right now. If I just wanted to read something that dives deeper into like that experience for women, like this is a really great book. I don't understand why I felt like so much more invested in Out on a Limb. I feel like the writing style is kind of similar. Like it has like kind of a bit of a sense of humor to it. And it's very like train of thought, journal style in a good way. I do really like Shep though, and I do feel like these two are like meant to be together. I feel like this romance makes a lot of sense. And so I don't know, I'm having a hard time putting my finger on like why this isn't a 5-star for me, but it's just like not for whatever reason. So I have like 45 minutes left in the book. I'm gonna sit here and finish it up and then give any final thoughts. I'd say it'll probably be similar to what I just said. I don't know if I'll have too much to add, but I'm definitely curious with the gender. I still don't know the gender of the baby or what she's gonna name it. So okay, I finished Ready or Not, and I don't know, like I think 4 stars. I'm thinking 4. Here's the thing. Sometimes I feel like I don't expect much out of a book and then I'm like raving about it and I'm like 4 stars. Like I was surprised. This was actually really good. And then sometimes I'm expecting like way too much out of a book and I'm like, yeah, I guess it's just 4 stars, but it's still really good. Like I still feel those feelings of like all the things I like about a 4-star book. I'm just sitting here talking about the things that I got hung up on because I had such high expectations. So I think that context is like sometimes helpful when thinking about like my reviews, because I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, like all these things that are bothering me. And then I'm like 4 stars. Like I liked it. I can definitely see why people love it so much. And it was a fun time. You guys know I love like a women's fiction story and I love good writing. Like those are like good writing to me goes like a super, super long way. So I feel like that's kind of to me what carried the 4-star rating. And I think if you're in the mood to romanticize pregnancy, go for it. This is a really good book. It was definitely sweet, but there were just, I don't know, there was a lot going on. I feel like between her job, her family, her friends, her baby daddy, where I felt like things got a little oversimplified at times. Things kind of worked out a little too well at times, which like all good. I love a happy ending. I would say top tier for me is Out on a Limb. If you want to read an unexpected pregnancy trope, no one's doing it like my girl Hannah Bonham Young. That book rocks. Those are my thoughts on Ready or Not. I think I'm going to start Shark Heart next. I haven't sent a Libby book to my Kobo yet at all, so I thought we could do that together and just try it out. So I'm just going to get up here and get cozy with y'all and show you how I do it. Okay, so I actually have Great Big Beautiful Life through my Libby right now. I like have a hold and it just showed up because I've synced my library card with my kobo. Here's the thing. I have multiple library cards. So this one is only syncing with one of them and Shark Heart is on my other one. Maybe I need to log out of that library card and log into the other one. So I'm gonna hit remove, sign out. Now I'm gonna get started and log in with my other one and see. Okay, so now if I go to my books, oh, I have Great Big Beautiful Life and Shark Hearts on here now. Wait, so could I open Great Big Beautiful Life? Will it open? No, see it says buy now. Okay, so that makes sense. But I can open Shark Heart. Really all you have to do if you have multiple cards is just log out and log back in, and you can do it all directly on your kobo if you're on Wi-Fi. I feel like it's pretty easy. I mean, obviously it'd be nice if you could be logged into several library cards, but I understand that's probably like complicated to engineer or whatever. Like it's not that big of a deal to just log in and log out to access the books that you need. So really no big deal. And whatever you're reading, it just automatically downloads it to your kobo for you. So I know like on the Libby app on my phone with my Kindle, I usually have to go and I'll click like send to Kindle, like this read with Kindle button. You would usually do that to send it, but you don't have to do that with kobo. It just syncs automatically. So as soon as I borrow something, I can go ahead and start reading it. And it's so fun. I tried to pick some books that had like fun, colorful covers because it's really fun to get to see the covers while reading, obviously, on the colored e-reader. So I think I may redeem a Libra FM credit for Shark Heart just to get started listening.
As the lingering summer heat eased into comfortable fall days.
Okay. That's not bad. It's only an 8-hour audiobook, so really not a long book at all. I know that this video is supposed to be me using kobo for the first time, but I'm wanting to like make progress on books and read more than just like one book because I need to run some errands. I need to do some packing. I will keep you posted on my thoughts on Shark Heart as I get started. Okay, it's several days later now. It's actually the last Monday in April, so I just got off work. It's about 6 o'clock, and I realized I literally filmed nothing on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. As you guys know, I traveled to North Carolina for my friend's wedding, and I did bring my camera with me, but there just was never a moment where I was like, let me get it out and film. And I was just soaking up the time with my friends. But now that we're back, I did want to give you an update on Shark Heart. So I have been reading it over the weekend. I'm about 53% of the way into the book. I just got to part 2. I think there's 3 parts, but the last one is super short. So mostly just 2 parts. And I'm still loving the Libby Overdrive integration with the kobo. I've had no issues at all. I do keep going back and forth on which button I want to be the page turn button. I switched it back to the bottom button and put this folio case back on. So I'm trying this out with Shark Heart. But honestly, I still feel the same about kobo. Like it's an amazing replacement for your Kindle. There are just a few of those like really niche features that you might miss if you are like a super user. I'm probably going to try to finish up Shark Heart tonight so we can finish up this vlog. And I will continue to give you all my thoughts on the kobo versus the Kindle and my experience with the kobo just throughout my normal reading vlogs going forward. But back to the book itself, I am really enjoying Shark Heart. I haven't cried or anything like that. I know a lot of people say this is a really sad book and you see people get really emotional. I will say I have been both listening and reading on my kobo, and it's tough because the audiobook is really good, but I will say that reading it with my eyes on my e-reader did make me feel more connected to the story. The audiobook narrators have done a great job throughout the audiobook of the parts that I've listened to, but I think it's just the way that the book is written. I just connect more with the writing and the story by reading it with my eyes. The writing is definitely super lyrical. It reads almost like a poem at times. You can definitely tell the writing knows that it's good, which is kind of funny, but honestly, I think it works. It is good. So I'd rather the writing be like self-aware and slightly, it's not even really pretentious. It's just like, I almost want to say avant-garde. Like it's just a little unconventional and new feeling, but it knows that it's doing that. So I'm probably going to sit down and try to read it with my eyes for the rest of the night instead of listening. The whole concept of this book is definitely pretty weird and wacky, but I'm also finding it really wonderful too. I don't remember if I explained what this book is about, so to quickly summarize, so far this book has been following Lewis and Ren. Basically they live in Texas. I want to say it's like 2016 or 17. It's like completely a contemporary fiction book set in like our times. The only thing is this like animal aspect of like this magical realism piece here. So basically Ren and Lewis fall in love, they get married, but a few weeks after their wedding, Lewis gets a rare diagnosis, and that's that his physical body will gradually transform into that of a great white shark. So you're following Lewis's journey with that and the strain it's putting on Ren and Lewis's relationship. Ren is the caretaker for Lewis during his like transition. And honestly, the story is largely following Ren. I kind of thought it was going to be more half and half Ren and Lewis, and it has been so far, but the story's kind of taking a turn now, I think, to focus a little bit more on Ren herself and some of her backstory. So it's also oscillating timelines for Ren. So you're getting multiple timeline chapters learning more about her childhood, her time in college, and then how how she's dealing with the circumstances in the current timeline. So like I said, the whole concept is pretty weird, but I'm finding the comparison like really freeing and really opening up like a larger discussion and like metaphor throughout the book. Lewis's transition feels very much like an allegory for sickness. Alzheimer's is definitely the most obvious one, but honestly, you could kind of connect it to almost any kind of loss or fatal diagnosis. It's definitely making me sad. It's like a sadder, heavier book. I was having some Sunday scaries last night, just feeling overwhelmed for the week ahead, and I kind of didn't want to pick this up, not because I'm not enjoying it, but just because I wanted something lighter, and this definitely is like a heavier book. But I ended up convincing myself just to read a page or two, and once I did, I got completely sucked back in. It's actually a pretty quick read because many of the pages just have a few lines on them. This is the page I'm on now, and then you can see like they're not full pages throughout. So I've been reading a little bit slow, honestly, which is why I feel like I'll be able to finish it tonight anyway, even though I have like 200 pages to go. They're like unconventional pages, but the way that it's written is so quick. Like you just want to keep turning the page, and it's very bingeable because it's written that way. Bingeable in a way that I haven't read a story before. It's not like bingeable because the story is so compelling. It's bingeable because you read a page and you're like, okay, let's keep going. Like, I don't know, just like the lyrical, almost poetic nature of it. You're like, okay, let me keep going. What is really resonating with me is just kind of seeing Rin in the caretaker position as well. It is absolutely heartbreaking, but in a really honest way. I think, and I'm sorry to the fans of this book, I didn't love Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, and I can't help because that's such a fresh read on my mind, but compare this one to that one a little bit when they shouldn't be compared at all because they're very, very different types of books. But I think if you really connected with some of those more emotional aspects of that book, with the Alzheimer's piece and the caretaking piece, you could really enjoy this one. I didn't necessarily connect so much with that piece of that book, and I felt guilty that I didn't. And that's part of the reason I felt frustrated with that book at times, because I was like, why do I feel bad for not connecting with this? It's not my fault. And I'm just feeling relieved to like kind of connect with more of a storyline like that. And I think this one's doing a good job with it. The fantastical elements of Lewis turning into a shark really allows the reader to project their own experiences of grief or loss. And I think that's kind of what the book's trying to accomplish. And I feel like it's doing a good job accomplishing that. Those are my thoughts on Shark Heart so far. Like I said, I'm hoping to finish it tonight, and I'm excited to keep reading. Okay, one other update I wanted to share before I get into the rest of my night is a really exciting one, and that is that Libby sent me this PR package. I'm so excited to open it. My sweet friends at Libby saw the Libby tutorial video that I made, and they just wanted to send something to say thank you because they really liked my video, and I just feel so grateful. Like, I am the biggest Libby stan, as you guys know. I'm obsessed with Libby, so I think that there's a sweatshirt and some sweatpants in here, and I thought it'd be so fun to read for the rest of the night on my kobo with my Libby book in my Libby sweatpants. So let's do it. Here's what we have so far. I'm gonna pull this out. Guys, Audie, thank you so much for sharing the Libby love with your audience. Love always the Libby team. I love you guys at Libby. You are the best. Shut up. Oh my God, this is an American Apparel sweatshirt. Oh my God, it says booked and busy. Oh my God, I'm absolutely obsessed. Oh my gosh, and there's matching sweatpants and they say booked and busy. Shut up. I got a little Libby pen. It's so cute. And my Libby sticker. This is iconic. Guys, look at my Libby mug. Oh my gosh. This is literally everything to me. This is my new prized possession. This literally just made my night. I'm so excited to put my new matching sweat set on. Like, literally, what could be better? Thank you so much to the team at Libby for sending this over. It was so sweet and thoughtful. If you want to learn more about how you can read free library ebooks on your Kindle, definitely check out my Libby video. I explain everything there. But I'm gonna go change into this and get cozy for the night, and we're gonna do some reading and finish up this vlog. I am obsessed with my Libby merch. I will be wearing it until further notice. It is so cute, and I've got my little matching sweatpants on. I'm obsessed. Wait, let me give you the full fit check. So here it is. How cute is this? Booked and busy. It has Libby on the sleeve, the Libby logo, and then the little sweatpants say booked and busy right here too. Yeah, let's finish up Shark Heart. I'll give you my final thoughts. I kind of want to read in the living room, so I'm making Anders share the living room with me. He's playing his video games.
Hi vlog, I'm gaming, and we'll be chilling tonight while Lottie reads, and I have Malcolm in the Middle on in the background. For a reading update, I just finished Into the Wild, and now I'm on the search for my next book. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just waiting on my next Libby hold to come in. Yep. Thanks for listening.
Okay, so we're gonna hang here. I'm gonna cut him out so he can enjoy gaming in peace and not feel like he's being perceived. Okay, I promise I'm gonna actually read my book soon. Really quickly before I sat down to actually read, I decided to run to the mailroom because I realized I had a package. But I got down there and I got this package and I have no idea what it is. Watch me open it and me be like, oh yeah, I ordered this. But I think this is publisher mail because it says it's from PRH Customer Service. And I was like, PRH, what is that? And then I was like, oh, it's probably Penguin Random House. And so I think this is publisher mail, which is really exciting. I've never gotten like an arc, like a physical arc of a book before. So I'm curious if this is like an arc or like, I have no idea. Watch me open it and me be like, oh, I ordered this. Either way, it'll be exciting because we can open something together. It's definitely something bookish because of like the size of it. I can just feel it feels like a book. I guess when I say I've never gotten publisher mail, I more so mean I haven't gotten like blind publisher mail before where like something's just sent and I don't know that it's coming. So that's more what I'm talking about with this, where I'm like, what is this? Who knows? Let's figure it out together. And it'll just be a fun little unboxing. So let's see what this is. Part of me kind of thinks it could be One Golden Summer. Because I was like gushing about that book. Maybe they sent me like a physical arc, but no, I don't think it is. Hold on. It's orange. Oh, guys, it's gorgeous. I'm so excited. This is like a milestone, guys. I feel like I'm so grateful for you guys. This is so exciting. I hope you can share in the excitement because, oh my gosh. Okay, and then it has, oh my gosh. It has this little thing, News from Putnam. It's a love story. My heart is swooning. This is so exciting. Guys, I just put this on my May TBR, which that video should be up by now. So I'm so grateful. Thank you to Putnam Books for the arc. I'm so excited. So honored if you can't tell. And to Annabelle Monaghan, I love you. I can't wait to read this. And thank you to you guys. I had a bit of a hard week last week and I've just been feeling a little overwhelmed lately as I shared on my community tab. And I feel like there's just been so much good happening in my life towards the end of this vlog that's really been like, I don't know, it's been uplifting and like signaling to me that like I'm doing something right or like I'm on the right track or I don't know, just to like keep going, I guess. I can't wait to read it. Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan was one of my favorite books of my favorite new releases last year and just one of my favorite books in general of last year. I love Annabelle Monaghan's writing. It's so good. I need to like calm down and go back to reading Shark Heart. Let's go back to reading this so that I can read this next. We've got to do one thing at a time. Hello, I decided I wanted to read in bed. So we're actually locking in now. I took my makeup off so I could get like fully cozy and immersed in my reading experience. Let's go. I've procrastinated way too long. It's like 10 o'clock now. So I have a lot of reading to do if I'm going to finish this book tonight. Okay, everyone, I hit the acknowledgement. So I finished Shark Heart. Much to consider, honestly. There were 3 parts as expected. I enjoyed part 1. I didn't love part 2. Part 2 felt like kind of trauma dumping and it still connected back to like Ren's story because part 2 was like mostly kind of getting Ren's mom's story. It was just like really depressing to read part 2 in my opinion. And then part 3 was probably my favorite. If you know, you know. I really liked the character of Margaret. So that's all I'll say. And then the epilogue was really like sweet as well. So kind of a roller coaster, honestly. I'm thinking 4 stars is probably what I'm gonna land on. I just didn't get that 5-star feeling with this book, but it's objectively a good book. It's very original, so it definitely felt fresh. And overall, I definitely enjoyed it. So I would recommend this book. I think if it sounds interesting and you like lit fic, you should give it a try. But if you're looking to get more into lit fic books, I wouldn't necessarily start with this one. And those are my thoughts at this hour. It is currently 12:23, so I'm gonna go to bed. I did also want to note that I haven't charged my kobo this entire vlog, and currently it's on 16%. It lasted a full charge through reading 2 books, which pretty good in my opinion. The battery is definitely a lot better than my Kindle Oasis. And the other thing I was thinking about with my Kobo is I have been checking every day. I Google Kobo daily deals and I just go and see what's on sale. I got inspired by Olivia Reads a Latte to do that. And I found The Collected Regrets of Clover over the weekend. So I picked that up. It was like $2 and I heard amazing things about that book. That's now in my Kobo library and I need to read that at some point. But that's just a new like habit and a fun thing that I do. I noticed they have a lot of Kindle Unlimited books that go on sale in there. So it's kind of a guilt-free way to get some of those if you want to like have them in your Kobo library. So those are a few other random Kobo thoughts, but I'm gonna go to bed and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, hey guys, it's the next day and I just wanted to go ahead and end off this vlog. I think this vlog is a good lesson for me of like life isn't always perfect. In my head right now, this vlog feels like a mess, but vlogs are really just sharing your life and life is messy. Therefore, vlogs sometimes can be messy and that's okay. I think the perfectionist in me sometimes just wants to tell like a really cohesive story with some of my videos. But from what I've heard from you guys, you just like hanging out and connecting over a bunch of random stuff and it doesn't always have to be this like big cohesive masterpiece. Some of my favorite vloggers and types of videos are ones where you just kind of feel like you're on FaceTime. So I hope that's what this felt like. To kind of sum up my thoughts on the Kobo so far, I'm going to continue to be sharing thoughts in reading vlogs to come as I'm using the Kobo. I think my favorite case for the Kobo, if I have to pick one after first impressions, is this like sleep cover from the Kobo brand because it lets you rest the pencil here. I feel like the pencil makes the colored ink and the annotation part of the Kobo Libra color really exciting. And I feel like the pencil is worth getting if you're going to get the Libra color. And then if you're going to be using it and you want to use the pencil, I feel like this case is the best one to just like keep the pencil with you at all times. For like functionally reading and like how I hold the device while I'm reading, I did enjoy having the popsocket on. So I'm still kind of figuring that out. I don't think, and I never really thought that the colored ink was like an absolute necessity. Is it fun? Yes. Do I like seeing the color of my book cover on my e-reader? Of course. It just makes me smile and makes me happy, but it's definitely something that's a bit extra and you definitely don't need it. The annotation capabilities are super fun. I find myself just like drawing notes in the margins more and just opting to use my stylus more. I think digital annotations are really fun because they don't feel so permanent and they just feel a little more private. Like it would be hard for someone to like flip through, you know, your ebook to go back and spy on your annotations. But like I said, I'll continue to give you thoughts in future reading vlogs too, just between Kindle and Kobo. And eventually I'll definitely do like a full comparison video. I had a lot of fun reading Ready or Not with you guys, as well as Shark Heart. Both of them were books that I thought were good, but not necessarily new favorites, but they both were on my April TBR. So I feel accomplished to get a few knocked off of there. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below with an emoji so I can know who made it to the end. If you think you would prefer Ready or Not, comment down below with the baby bottle emoji. And if you think you would prefer Shark Heart, comment down below with the shark emoji. In case you missed it, my last video was my TBR jar video for the month of May. So if you want to see what prompts I pulled and what books I may be reading next month, definitely check that one out. I think that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting my channel. I love you all so much and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.